Still in relationships because they offer more than just their looks, is what I'm trying to tell you.
But they got the sex appeal. The sex appeal is a plus, okay?
The sex appeal is cool, but what I'm trying to tell you is if I'm a man and I have things going on in my life and I have this 6 over here or this 7 that doesn't look as good as this 10, I'm going to choose the 6 because she's causing
Because
me
you
less.
cheat.
No, it's because
That's cheat.
Listen to me. She's causing me less issues. Whenever
Because you cheat.
Stop talking.
What you mean stop talking? What you mean stop talking?
I can't say what I'm trying to say.
Come on, get it out, Marcus. Yeah. Get it out.
So, again, when you a 10 and you walking around want to consider yourself a bad bitch and all the rest of this other shit, when you go to these places, it's a red flag for your man because he know everywhere you go is some man that's offering you 500, 7, don't cut me off, 600, 1,000, whatever it is. This 6 that goes places, ain't nobody offering them this. Ain't nobody offering them that. So it's a less stressful thing. Don't get me wrong that a man, we all are insecure about certain things because.
So he's right about some things here. The insecurity thing, I think that's male dependent. But the broader point I want to point out right now, if you find yourself, if as a man, if you find yourself in a conversation like this, and let's be fair, any gender, if you find yourself in a conversation like this where you're constantly being interrupted when someone is completely ignoring the things that you have to say because it's just they'd rather be performative, they'd rather be funny, they think it's joking. You're trying to have a very serious conversation, especially about male issues, especially about male desires, and you're basically being demeaned, belittled like this, interrupted. Walk out. Walk out. You don't owe anyone like this any type of conversation, any type of explanation, because we've gotten so much to the point that we're having a lot of these back and forth conversations, these debates, these these tit for tats, but no one's really listening. No one's really listening, especially when there's a camera rolling and this is going to be put out onto the internet. More times than not, people are just there for performance reasons to get attention to their face, to bring to their page, to their person. When someone is just interrupting you back and forth like that, not listening to any point you have to say, just walk away. You're never really going to be able to convince someone of anything you have to say at that point. Listen, before we do a deeper dive into this, where we really get to, tear apart some of the things that are being said here, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss new uploads. Still trying to do 2 a day, still trying to keep this thing going. So let's rewind this one to see exactly where things go off the rails.
We don't want our woman to. They're still in relationships because they offer more than just their looks, is what I'm trying to tell you.
But they got the sex appeal. The sex appeal is a plus, okay?
The sex appeal is cool, but what I'm trying to tell you is if I'm a man and I have things going on in my life and I have this 6 over here or this 7 that doesn't look as good as this 10, I'm going to choose the 6 because she's causing.
Because you cheat.
No.
So we know what that is, right? We've seen that, countless times. That's just shame, right? That's shaming language in order to sort of make you feel bad for the decisions that you're saying that may not be in line with sort of her worldview. Again, if this is the type of woman that you find yourself around, this is the type of woman that you enjoy, you attract, the more power to you. You have to know how to properly navigate this. But as a man who wants to saying he's about his, if a man's about something, he's going to look at things and say it's more than just a sex appeal. But when that is, to be fair, that is almost one of the easiest things for women to sort of put forward. It doesn't require a ton of work, right? Society has made that very easy. We have so many products, so many designs just geared towards making you more physically attractive to whichever sex you're trying to be physically attracted to. Your For You page, your Instagram, page, it's all inundated with sex. We know how to do sex, right? We know how to do the beginnings of a relationship and the ends of a relationship. We know how to do that really well. The beginning where I simply attract you, the end where, everything is simply dissolved. So I found, and you guys can chime in, correct me if you're wrong, correct me if you feel differently. I'm always open to have those conversations, just not conversations like this, which is ultimately one of the points I want to make here. But if this is all you can bring to the table, right? Sex appeal, that's all you have because it's an easy thing. When people challenge that and say, yeah, that's cool, but what else? You get kickback like this. You get the feedback like this we're just trying to downplay everything else that you have to say after that. I think that's why we as men, we have to be very cognizant when we see this. We have to look past the sex appeal and see what else is there. There's nothing, substantive there. Then yeah, maybe it's time to sort of walk on. His other point of saying choosing a 6 or a 10, yeah, I think it's generalizing, saying that most sixes have better personalities, are easier to get along with than tens, because you've had to develop something. You've had to develop some sort of interesting hobby, some sort of interesting thing about you, because you just weren't able to get by on your looks. Yeah, and that's a generalization that most men sort of hold, that the community sort of holds. But again, it's always really going to come down to personality. Just because you're a 10, just because you experience pretty privilege, doesn't mean that you are in line with how most people think tens and people with pretty privilege move. I know a very, very gorgeous woman, and she grew up very much in the church, right? Very pretty. She may have, if you just by looking at her, you may just think, oh, she's like this. But unless you get to know her, you see, wow, you're actually very well down to earth. You have substance. So when we sort of generalize and judge like this and try to put people in boxes early, we end up sort of perhaps missing out on people's real potential. So I say all that to say, if you're just trying to play the 6 or the 10 game, we should probably just be playing the game where you get to know someone. If you're in a situation, as you were saying towards the end, if you're in a situation where you're choosing your people, your woman, your man, based on your own insecurities and trying to protect that, then it's probably a better idea to address your insecurities first, rather than saying, I'm going to get with this one that I think is just okay looking to me, because I don't want to go out there into the wider world and have men constantly hitting on her. And I'm not ready to sort of deal with the consequences of that. I think it's better if you deal with your own insecurities first, get whomever you want, not let it be based on this arbitrary system. You're saying, I need you just about medium ugly, or I need you just about right here. Get who resonates with your personality, who you can actually look forward to coming back to, seeing someone that's actually feminine, caring, rather than just saying you have to be this, or you have, or I stay away from that. Work your own insecurities. The truth is, if a man wanted your whomever you're with, or a woman wanted whomever you're with, there's nothing you can do about them accepting it. You can hover, you can try to make guard as much as you want, but if they're interested and it was always in them to do that, there's no amount of protecting them or keeping them shy away from this that is really going to change anything. And it presupposes the very real fact that sixes cheat too, right? Sixes cheat too. Like, it's not something that, hey, you're not as pretty as her, that means you're not going to entertain the invitations of the men. No, that'll happen. The point of all this, though, the original reason of using this video is saying that when men are talking about their desires, what's important to them, and we're not yet in a space, in a place where this is simply accepted. It's challenged, it's shamed, it's ridiculed, it's put aside like it's unimportant. When you find yourself in the beginnings of that sort of confrontation, because those aren't really discussions, those are confrontations, leave, pick up your ball and go home. I'd rather much prefer that, rather than you sit here and try to convince someone who's not interested in hearing you out at all, but you'll try to follow their conversation and try to respond to their things in a logical, coherent manner. No. If two people aren't willing to have a very real conversation, then there should be no conversation being had at all. If you think I missed something, let me know in the comments. Um, if you still hear my voice right now at the end of the video, you have subscribed. Come on, what are you doing? Are you killing me? Guys, share the video if you're so inclined, and I'll see you in the next one.